So this video is in honor of my goddess Ma'at. She is the goddess of cosmic truth, law, order, balance, justice, reconciliation. And it's Ma'at month as far as I'm concerned. The month of September is all about that. We've just moved through a Virgo moon, which was all about, well, it felt like a full moon actually, but it was all about chucking out the old, igniting and activating the new, really getting organized, balancing your scales. It's all about karma and just getting right with the structure. Like, what are we doing here? Clearing out our houses now. We're kind of getting right with ourselves, right? So that's what September's all about, as we are in Virgo time and we're about to move into Libra time as well, and Scorpio actually. So there's a big mix there in this pocket that we're going into now, which is all about, we're going through a death to be reborn. So to actually travel light, we have to organize ourselves and we have to get right with who we really are. This year is all about panel beating us into the true version of ourselves, right? We're not the illusion. We are not our pain. We are not the suffering that we've lived for lifetimes. We're now understanding and knowing that we are indeed reflections of source in physical body. And that's the ultimate of this life, isn't it, really? To actually know thyself, which is what the Egyptians always go on about. So let me just move aside a little bit so I can show you Ma'at. How lovely is she? I've actually got her tattooed on my arm here to remind myself constantly to keep my shit tight. Because this one's got 42 laws and 7 principles, right? She never took a human form, but she's obviously in the ethers and all around. The pharaohs lived by Ma'at, and so did the people. Or that was the plan anyway. So the understanding in the Egyptian, I'll give you the bit of the backstory. So, the pharaohs would live by Ma'at, and they were supposed to lead their people by Ma'at, okay? So that is like being in integrity, truth and honesty and all of the things, right? And when they came to drop their bodies and they wanted to go to the afterlife to Osiris through the 7 gates, they got called to a judicial kind of like meeting with Anubis, with who would be like mummifying the body, because he's kind of the god of death, along with his father Osiris. And you have Thoth who'd be taking notes, and of course Nephthys and Isis would be there. But the main thing is this powerful goddess's scales of truth would be there, and you would have to weigh your heart against her feather, right? So when you put your heart on the scales against her feather, if your heart weighed heavier or it didn't balance, you're in trouble, because they're going to go, you didn't do what you said you did, which you were a nice person, clearly you weren't, or you didn't lead your people to the promised land, as it were. Now, I love Egyptian mythology because also as well, Nekhbet, who is the vulture goddess, okay, she's a powerful protector of the pharaohs. Now, if she knew or thought that you weren't living in Ma'at and you were a pharaoh, she'd eat you. Basically, she'd pick you apart and she'd eat you. So that's Ma'at is also a fierce goddess, but that's another video. So that's kind of the mythology. It's like living by Ma'at. You will get asked. There is a judgment day. There will be a time where you need to see, have you balanced your karma? Do you know what I mean? It's all about karmic debt and everything like that. So let's get into like how this is actually affecting you day to day and how we can move through the month of September and really embody these lessons and the guidance of such a goddess as Ma'at, okay? Or Ma'at. So now, the goddess of cosmic truth, let's start there. So this beautiful feather that she's got here shakes and shimmers when she downloads and brings down the cosmic truth. Now, we want to ask ourselves, where are we still living in our illusion? And where are we still living in our pain? Basically, point blank, joy is joy. The good stuff is the good stuff. Even Mother Mary says, if it doesn't feel like joy, then bin it. She doesn't say like that, but do you know what I mean? It's not truth, right? So when things are going good and everything, and you feel safe and everything's wonderful and tickety boo, right? That is your truth. Anything that comes to you that doesn't feel like that, that's the illusion. That will tap into the stories that you tell yourself. So this is where I've been speaking a lot about this, where there are videos, or there's a video I'm going to do, which is about, I'm always talking about your gospel. I talk about the gospel of Marie. That's my truth. That's just what I share with you. And if it resonates, brilliant. If it doesn't, doesn't, leave it alone. If none of it resonates, fine. Do you know what I mean? But like I am always reflecting to others to go inside and listen to your higher self, right? To actually listen to your own cosmic truth through your Ma'at feather, more so than mine. I'm just a guide to kind of like, you know, help you step into self. Like I've had teachers like that have turned it around on me and said, well, what do you think? You know what I mean? Because otherwise we start just regurgitating other people's opinions. And essentially, even me being here on video is an opinion. So the cosmic truth of Ma'at, you know, you're kind of really tapping into the consciousness and understanding that you are indeed part of all of that, right? But it's a direct line, isn't it? Now, I work with her feather, which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a live on 99 portal, which is going to like really like heat us up, as it were, for the group that I'm going to be holding on the 23rd of September. Now, that's a day after equinox, which is all to do with the divine balance, you know. So that's going to be a powerful private online group, $88, cheap and cheerful. Come and join me. And that is going to be teaching on these wisdom teachings of Ma'at and how to integrate them with alchemy, with Sekhmet and Hathor. But we're going to be looking on how to embody her teachings and how to turn them into magic and medicine while in the physical body. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. So I'll put all the deets about that in the write-up. But this is why this month is so important. You get a chance and an opportunity to be witness to working with your own magic through Ma'at. How exciting. So on the 99 portal, we're going to be working with Isis, and maybe Toth will show he's around, you know, but like this month it's really ramping up. So we've got all of the goddesses and the gods, like, you know, up front and center this month, right? So now that cosmic truth, that's what you've got to be tapping into now, right? Take what you need out there, but as long as it guides you in here, and ultimately you're listening to your own inner voice, not the voice of others. That's where you need to arrive at, not out there. So that's the cosmic truth. So now we move into law. So of course her laws are going to be the 42 laws, the 7 principles. So that's like pretty much speaks for itself. So we ask, are you living by her laws? I mean, let's not go through the whole 42. We'll be here for like weeks, but like, let's basically just say, are you living in joy? Are you devoid of joy? I know I have been. I've had an element of joy, but I haven't really tapped into that sweet spot. So I've been really diving deep into my karma by working with Ma'at to find out where I can balance, you know, and dig and find out, you know what I mean? So I can access the truth of who I am. So the laws will help you do that. Are you living in joy? And if it's a flat no, then we need to look at that, because if you are still repeating the same cycles and you're still like in this suffering, then you have indeed missed something along the way. You're missing something about the story. A story will only hang around for your own lessons and learning. And if you haven't been able to change the narrative, it's because you're missing something about the story. And it's usually one little thing, and then the scales balance. Okay. So that's the laws. All right. So now we go into order, divine order. So if cosmic truth is present in your life and you're starting to listen to yourself, if you're going to go into the laws and you've got something to look at and go, yep, I need to live by that and put that falseness down, then you're going to arrive at some kind of level of order, and it's divine order, not the order that is controlling. Okay, which is basically, you know, let's compare that. Inner authority is what I'm talking about here versus authority. And that's just basically bullying governments and people in authority that just take away your power, and we give our power to them, right? So that's authority versus inner authority. So order as in divine order, or order as in like conform or else, right? So that's the difference. It all comes from within. It comes from Ma'at. So, or divine order is what is needed for the divine feminine to land into it. So the creation codes needs to, you know, energy and creation codes need a structure to land into. So that's what we're talking about, order. So if indeed your divine feminine is all the creative ideas you have, and it's landing in now to your divine masculine, who's not in the shadow, who's like going, hey girl, I got your back, and he's got a system and an order to work to land these codes into, then that's a divine match. That's a balance, isn't it? When everything's just sweet, you know, ticking over. That is now takes us into balance, because balance is all about twin flame frequency, as above, so, as above, so below, so within, so without, right? So we understand all of that. Okay, so that's the balance. And then that moves us into justice. So justice, like we kind of think, bring justice, the scales of justice. There you go. So yeah, there is almost like a right that needs to be brought through if something's wrong. Okay, so we can look at it like that. If you find something that's just too much to digest, you've got to hand it over to divine law, order, and justice. Hand it over to Ma'at. Sit back, let it go. You know what I mean? Because like they will sort it out. Highest good for you, highest good for them. But when you're holding on, you are being controlling. You're in that kind of like control, that divine masculine in the shadow. So justice is about basically allowing something to just move on and letting the powers, above and around you to take care of it. Sekhmet will come in and, she'll fix it for you. Don't worry about that. Do you know what I mean? In a good way. And the scales will be balanced, which means you're not going to be tweaking out, angry or upset that that this was unfair or whatever it might be. But then justice is also about knowing that everything in the world, animal, trees, nature, people, whatever, everybody deserves the same amount of everything. Do you know what I mean? That's justice. Okay, so that's a little bit of a different take on that, understanding and knowing that we are all entitled to the same thing: food, shelter, support, love. That's also justice. And then I'm chucking in the end here, reconciliation. That was a Gospel of Marie add-on, because all my years of working with Ma'at, I've realized that if I try and spiritually bypass or pass something off and go, it's done, and I don't deal with it, the karma's going to come back and give me a big bitch slap, right? So I need to know that that's this version of, I balanced my books, put it into the account, and they're like, no, there's so many receipts missing, send it back. Not submitted. You can only submit your accounts when the books are balanced. So reconciliation, now we're talking about, okay, so I want to live by the laws of Ma'at, and I want to be a better person, and I want that joy and everything like that. Well, it could be that your lack of joy and the absence of it could be because you haven't forgiven someone. Maybe you've not forgiven yourself. There is karma that's left undealt with. And because you don't want to go there, you think you can just stroll into Ma'at's space. And she's going to go, no, turn around, go back, have a look at it. Do you know what I mean? Because there's only truth, order, and balance here. And this is the space where you will be seen for your truth or your untruth. And I mean that by, have you dealt and looked at your shit or not? And listen, it's not easy, but that is kind of like the stern, loving space holding that Ma'at will bring. She wants to bring you order to your chaos. Listen, chaos is a good thing because it's divine feminine and we can create from that. But again, that you've got to be balanced in your own being to be able to work with that kind of chaos. If you're vibrating inside from shadow and you want to try and work with that chaos, then it's going to just be a shit show. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's all about your inner vibration, like your approach. So reconciliation is huge. You have to make peace with everything. Isis says so. Can't move on to the next level until you have forgiven yourself, others, loved everything into alignment, and then you can then embrace this order that will be blessed and bestowed upon you. So that's it, and that's all, really. You know what I mean? So learn the lessons. Don't be fearful to turn around. Fear is just a thing that comes up when like feelings of pain. We don't want to go there. So fear is a product of that, of not wanting to go there. But actually, when we go there and we look at that inner child and we say, hi, and we just stop and pause everything and slow it right down, instead of popping in and popping out, all of a sudden, once we sit there for long enough in that feeling of anxiety, in that feeling of pain, don't get stuck into the story, just sit there and just feel that uncomfortability. If something's going on for you, it's just go into the feeling, allow it to be there, accept it, because it's not going to be there forever. But the gateway to joy is through acceptance. So that is my wisdom teachings on Ma'at. There's so much more to bring through. So, of course, like I say, we're going to be posting that all over YouTube. 23rd of September is going to be the group. And watch out for that. And then we can really deep dive into the wisdom teachings of Ma'at. And I invite you to do that, because what you learn from that is you can take you very far, because those are very, very powerful structures for you to stand upon for the rest of your life. Once you know, you can't unknow. And also look out for the live 9/9 portal. It's going to be exciting. And then, of course, we're always going to dip into 2025 because it's a 9-year and we're in a 9-month. 9th to the 19th of May, Tablets of Light taught to Egypt. It is initiation. It is a time now which we've all been working towards. So maybe by you watching this video, you're preparing yourself to come there. Maybe that's why you'll come, looking at all these teachings and things like that. But there is a reason for it. And I know that I've got a specific star team ready. I've already got some that have made themselves known. Are you one of them? And this is going to be a very, very powerful tour on an add-on of the work we've just done. The last tour we did was all to do with Twin Flame. So now we are going to be going there and picking up from where the last group left off. And that's how the Tablets of Light works. We are building the pyramids. First of all, we lay the foundations. Then we came in and the electrician came in. Then the plumber's coming in. And then we need to put a roof on. And that's kind of how we're rolling. So are you part of this team for 2025? And if you're getting a little bit of a shudder and a shake, and Thoth is indeed calling you to actually share your pyramid encodements, then we need to speak. So anyway, lots of opportunities to come and hang with me one way or another. Thank you for watching always. Thank you for receiving Ma'at, and may the force be with you. Peace.